Why this dot? Because I want to signalize to Python that this name is from this dog instance. Init is called automatically when the object is created. The important thing is that the first parameter is instance itself. Print info is called this dog instance is passed automatically to the first argument here. Hello coders, welcome to my channel. I'm David, your guide to mastering programming. The day has finally arrived. We are diving into classes. This marks the beginning of our journey into object-oriented programming in Python. With this powerful concept, we've officially stepped into intermediate territory and moved one step closer to mastering Python. Let's create our first class and start slowly learning object-oriented terms. Classes are blueprints for creating objects. To create a class, you need to write class keyword and write the name, open the colon, which means we will enter this class scope. For now, I'll just write pass, and later I will code something in this class path. To create object pet, I need to write the name of this variable dog, and I want it to be equal to this pet. It won't print you error if you leave it like this, but then this dog won't be of type pet, which we want. In order to say that you want to create this pet, you have to write this empty parentheses. Now when I print type dog, it prints pet, but also this main. This is more advanced topic, and we will debunk this later. This dog is called an instance of pet. Instance is one object created from a certain class. This is the term that you have to know and that I will use a lot. Now, maybe I wanted my dog to have a name, an owner or age. To do that, I need to create some variables, dog.name. Why this dot? Because I want to signalize to Python that this name is from this dog instance. Now when I run this code, as you can see, it prints Jack, David, and 2. These variables are called attributes in object-oriented programming. Attributes are variables that are member of classes. When I say member, I mean they are defined inside a class. There are two attribute types, but today we will only talk about instance attributes. These attributes that you see here are instance attributes. Why they are called instance? Because this attribute here is specific to this instance, dog. For example, if I create another instance, as you can see, it's the same variable, but the value is different because the instance is different. One is dog and one is cat. It's not a good practice to require your users to remember to do something in order for your code to run correctly. For example, as you can see here, I want my user to create a dog instance. I mean, I don't require him to write the dog instance, but I want him, when he create a dog instance, that dog has to have a name, owner, and age, because I want to print all those values. But if he forgets something, this won't run into an error. But when I run this code, my code will crash. My program will crash. As you can see, it says attribute error. Pet object has no attribute age. So you should force them to do something, but if they don't, your code should return some error. I'll show you what I mean. Let's resolve this code line by line. Init is a method in Python. Method is a function that is a member of a class. This is another term that I will use very often, so try to remember it or write it down somewhere. But this init is a special method. Yeah, by special, I mean special. It's an official term in Python. All the methods that start with double underscore and end with double underscore are special methods. That's a topic for another video. For now, you should just know what this init is, and that is different from other methods. Init is called automatically when the object is created to initialize it. As you see here, when I write this init is automatically called. As you can see, name, this jack is passed to this init, even though I didn't call it and write here init, I just wrote pat and open the parentheses and passed these values. So name is now Jack, owner is now David, and age is 2. But maybe you wonder what this self, this purple self is. Well, the important thing is that the first parameter is instance itself. So technically, I passed this dog to this self. Here you could write whichever name you want, but the convention is to use name self. Now, when I write here self, I say the instance name should be the name that you passed. The instance owner should be the owner that you passed. For example, here, David. Instance age should be the age that you passed, which is 2. So now when I run this, as you can see, it says Jack, David, and 2. But when I, for example, forget to write this 2, as you can see, it immediately tells you that there is some error here. You can create your own methods. They don't have to be built in like special methods. They are created completely the same, and they can use the instance attribute as well as the arguments that are passed to them. Let me show you. To call it, I can call it the same way I got these attributes. I should write the instance name, then write dot and write print info. When this function print info is called, this dog instance is passed automatically to the first argument here, self. Important thing to mention is that you can't omit this self here because this will cause an error. Why? When I call this function this way, this dog.printinfo will automatically pass this dog instance, whether you want that or not. So it's important whenever you create your own method, the first parameter should always be the instance itself. And the convention that I told you before is to call itself. Another way of calling a function is by writing a class name pet, then write the dot and say print info. But now, as you can see, since this is not an instance but a whole class, now you have to pass the dog to tell Python that you want to run this print info for dog instance. So here you have to write dog. Now, as you can see, these two lines are completely the same. Here, I will write you a clean summary of all the important terms in object-oriented programming that you have learned today. Write them down. And from now on, that paper should always be near you when I'm talking about object-oriented programming. That way, you will learn them faster and you will understand me better. Now pause the video and write them down. I hope you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe for more coding content. See you in my next video.